Good evening, everyone. This is Atmospheric Alex here with another weather forecast and discussion. And this one is going to have a lot to it as we're talking about a pretty significant pattern coming up with tons of snow up north and tons of rain down south. And believe me when I say a lot of rain is coming for portions of the southeast, especially in the Appalachian region, especially East Tennessee. They're going to be getting absolutely dumped on with rain. Now, of course, that means this video will be split into two parts. And the first part here, we're going to be talking about our major flooding concerns here across the southeast, and part two will be going a deep dive on the snowstorm risk for the northeast and portions of the Midwest and Ohio Valley. But before we get into all of that, last night was a crazy one for my area, and if you didn't see my community post last night, because I know a lot of you all live out here, we did have quite the supercell that pushed on through. You can see this massive tornado warning that I was under. Oh my goodness, I actually heard tornado sirens and everything out there. There's tons of lightning. Now, this did move off to the north of me, which is great news, right? But all in all, quite a rare situation out there. That was a little bit spontaneous out there. I definitely could have made a video yesterday, and I deeply regret it now. And I mean, just look at that rotation on radar. It is phenomenal what we saw. And thank goodness we didn't have any more storm energy, or these reds and these greens and blues would have met in the middle and would have dropped a potentially strong tornado north of Sevierville. That is a sentence that I really never thought I'd have to say. It definitely was quite close to doing so. Luckily, this stayed elevated and it never touched the ground, but boy, if it did, that would have been an absolute nightmare for areas just south of I-40. Alright, and yeah, enough of the tornado talk in early February. It's time to talk about our heavy rainfall outlook here for day 5. Yep, day 5, I believe. And this is going to be for the southeast. We are talking about already a slight risk of flash flooding here across some of these areas. Northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, southern Tennessee. This is for rain, not snow, like that one outlook I did. Yeah, we're talking about heavy rain moving back into the picture. As we take a look at our Weather Prediction Center here, generally 4 to 6 inches of rain in some of these areas. Absolutely absurd. Just over the next week, we could be talking about, rain event after rain event after rain event moving straight up into our area. And you can see here a large area of 2 to 3 inches in your red colors as well, which is enough to promote flooding. That is going to be a major issue. And in the mountains here, we could be talking about over 10 inches of rain in localized spots. So river flooding downstream. Alright, so river flooding here across portions of East Tennessee is going to be an absolute nightmare, I'm afraid, as we could see some pretty fast rising waters. Trying to draw in some of your streams and creeks and rivers here. A little difficult to do so, but you get the idea. It's going to be quite a wild ride as these rivers rise rapidly over the next week. So let's take a look at our models here to determine what is going to happen. We're looking at our European model first. We notice a little bit of a rain system moving through late tomorrow night after a day of strong winds across a large area here. Nice little frontal system, 70-degree weather, you get the idea. And then as we head into Tuesday, you can see, look at that. A big old streamer of rain is beginning to set up across a large portion of the southeast and mid-south. Just streaming up there, bringing up moderate rainfall, especially into the mountains as well. And this just continues. This model is a lot less aggressive. You can see some thunderstorm activity as well. Yeah, take a look at that. Even maybe some stronger storms pushing into the upstate of South Carolina, even North Carolina there. And some more of these systems, look at that. Some moderate, potentially heavy rainfall going into Wednesday here with another associated storm system sweeping up through our area. And really after that, it becomes a little more uncertain, but wow, I mean, this right here would be a major system of severe weather. Big time squall line QLCS system pushing through everywhere across the southeast. Let's see if that happens. A lot of uncertainty right now, so don't wager any bets, and wouldn't trust that. But you get the idea. More rain there. This isn't too aggressive. The GFS, on the other hand, is going all bonkers here. Just take a look at this. System 1 is a lot larger, is a lot more horizontal, if you will. So rain will be training over the same areas for hours, if not days on end with that. Another system comes in, big time heavy rain event here. Thunderstorm event as well. Just right into the mountains, right? Even into portions of western North Carolina. I'll tell you, they do not need rain after what happened this fall. And this is, just not a good situation. Then you get a break, and then boom, another one. Holy cow. Yeah, this is way too aggressive, I think, on the GFS. But yeah, just what a deluge across these areas. That just screams on through. And then, how about another one, right? Goodness, it just doesn't stop. And then, don't trust the models past 10 days, folks, and that is exactly why, right? We're not in a wintry pattern anymore. We're heading into a spring for the south. And then after that, we'll have to wait and see, right? If we see a cold front, well, obviously we'll see less rain chances. But yeah, from the European model here, let's take a look at that. 5 to 6 inches across a very large area here, going into northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, northern Georgia. That could be a hot zone there, depending on where things go. European model indicating 7 to 9 inches of rain. Oh my goodness. And Tennessee, about 6 inches as well. This is a classic February southern soaker event here. That will not be going away anytime soon. Going up into your mid-Atlantic regions here, this does in fact continue. Portions of Kentucky seeing 5 inches, even up to 6 inches going into West Virginia here, portions of Pennsylvania. Whole Northeast, this is all snow, and we'll talk about that in a minute as to why that could be significant. But yeah. Welp, if you thought that was bad, we're taking a look at the GFS, and this is in La La Land. This has no idea what it's doing. It shows over a foot of rain here for northern Alabama, northern Georgia, East Tennessee, especially in the mountains here, could see over a foot. I would take that with a very slight grain of salt. This is very far out, mixed with many different storm systems, and it's the GFS. It overdoes precipitation normally. But just this large stripe here of 5 to 8 inches. Unbelievable. And heading off into portions of western North Carolina here into southern Virginia. Yeah, that's a lot of rain, 6 to 7 inches. I really hope this does not verify for anybody. We will be talking about very major flooding if this took place. Now, not nearly as bad as Helene, alright? Obviously, we're not talking about 30 inches. Let's not do that ever again, but still, totals in the double digits would be very serious. Okie dokie, that was part 1 of the video. Time to move on to part 2, where we will be talking about our train of snow up further north. And to kick things off, we already have a winter storm coming for portions of the Northeast, starting later tomorrow into Sunday, where we have moderate to major impacts for snow. Look at that. Boston, Massachusetts, you haven't gotten too much this winter. Well, it looks like you are about to here over the next couple of days, if not even couple of weeks with this pattern in place. But major impacts there, downtown Boston, Lowell, Newburyport. I'm sorry if I am butchering some of these names. I am not from this area. Well, you get the idea. Leominster here. Man, we can't forget about moderate impacts here. New York City, look at that, moderate impacts. Philadelphia, you haven't got too much. This will mainly be for icing concerns down here, though, which we'll look at in just a minute. And even into Albany, New York as well, where we're talking about those moderate impacts. Let's look at the European model here. And you could see System 1, bang, heavy snowfall across the entire northeastern New England area. So we are talking about this moving through later tomorrow night with a classic heavy snow event for New York City. You have not gotten that this winter, and you are about to finally. And look at Boston there. Yeah, really getting hammered by heavy snow. This begins to move on out going into Sunday morning. It's going to be quick hitting, but very heavy, and that moves out. Then we're talking about our next storm system here. We have a little bit of a prelude here out in front of it for portions of northern Kentucky here into West Virginia and Virginia. Could see about a moderate to heavy snow going into Tuesday morning. And this little thing up here, this piece of energy kind of dies, but could see some snow showers across the Chicagoland area going again Tuesday morning. So same time frame. This is happening all at once. And another bout of light to moderate snow for the northeast here going into Tuesday evening, and it tries to maybe get a little bit of a low pressure nor'easter going and try and flip like this, but is never able to. Instead just gets shoved out to sea. Got another piece of energy behind that going into Wednesday. More snow up for the Chicago area. Going into Cleveland, look at that nice stripe of snow, and this is a bit of a larger system. So take a look at this. Getting some heavy snow here across the interior New England areas here, upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. You get the idea. Absolutely pouring snow up there. Back end snow. This is going into Thursday now. This moves through. Could get some pretty strong winds up there too. And wow, look at that over Nova Scotia. I don't cover that area much, but some snow there. Here we go, and here's another one. This one's a little further north into Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, portions of far northern Illinois, Michigan, Ontario. We're even getting into New York again, Pennsylvania, getting into Friday. Yeah, look at that there. And this is the one that could bring severe weather. We are watching this closely. Other severe weather experts suggest this as well. And bam, look at all of that windy rain moving through the northeast. That's a little bit overstated, in my opinion. But got more wraparound snow for the same exact areas going into Saturday and Sunday. Then again up for Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, possibly into Sunday as well. This could go north or south, so this is not set in stone. Bam! Bomb cyclone here across the interior northeast. Absolutely absurd, and flinging more snow into Canada. And choo-choo, we get another system here moving into the same areas. Oh my goodness, does it ever end? It's just crazy. And yeah, just supportive for snow over the next 2 weeks. You thought that was crazy. Time to look at the GFS model. Same thing with this first storm system here, moving into the northeast, into Saturday, or tomorrow evening, I should say, to tomorrow night. And I just wanted to say this here. A chance of possibly a light wintry mix. Don't hold your breath, though. Maybe for portions of interior North Carolina, coastal areas. We'll see. System number 2, you notice, is a lot further south than the European model, going through Kentucky a lot more. Same situation. And then system 3 is a little bit heavier here, going into Chicago. So, maybe a good 2 to 4 inch event if this were to pan out exactly as planned. Into the northeast again. System number 4 comes along, and yeah, it's in pretty good agreement with the European, I'd say. This is pretty aggressive here, showing a major winter storm here for the northeast going into Sunday. And then possible system number 5 here, that's really far south, but northeast getting hit again, and just doesn't end, right? System number 6 could be coming up here. We'll see. Now, how much snow could you be seeing? A lot is the answer, and I really don't have an exact number for this. Generally, though, yeah, some very high totals here in this model. I am not going to read them out loud. You can see them on screen. All I'm going to say is it's going to be a snowy pattern coming up, okay? I'm not going to try and forecast the area for 20 plus inches yet. We are still too far out, and we have too many systems to get through before we know the answer to that. The northeast, yeah, just tons of snow through here. European model trying to pick up on 2 feet. Again, please take this with a grain of salt, but you are going to see a lot of snow. As we get into our ensemble mean, you'll see that at the end of the video. Then the GFS, noticeable snow hole here across the Midwest. Timing is a little bit off here, and I can't fix that for some reason, so I apologize. But this goes out for the next about 10 days instead of 15, but you can get the same idea here. Northeast getting crushed. We're about to zoom in on them. But take a look here at southern Virginia. That's a lot of snow. Again, this is a lot more uncertain down here as it is for this time of year, but I wanted to point this out for you all. Bam! Wow, this just please, if you see this on social media, do not trust it. Just know that a lot of snow could be coming, but I am not going to say the exact amounts, and if you run into someone who does and tries to say 30 to 40 inches, well, take them with a grain of salt. Maybe not trust them nearly as much, but just, it's going to be deep up here, right? I mean, when you get into your mint green colors, that is very serious. Now to round it off, let's look at your European ensemble here, and yeah, I mean, this I could feel more confident saying some totals here. Take a look at that across the Northeast. I cannot stop saying it. You guys are going to get crushed with snow over the next 2 weeks. This is your time to shine. On the mean here, going for about 20 inches in quite a few areas. That is absurd to be seeing over a spread of 50 ensemble members. But wow, even New York City going for a mean of a foot there. That is just, that's really something to behold. Boston, about 20 inches for a mean. Yeah, getting in on some action finally. Alright, and that's going to do it with today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to smash the like button and even subscribe to my little corner of the weather community. And also, don't forget to ring the bell notification icon. I don't know if you've really noticed this yet, but the bell icon is located next to the subscribe button, and I'd highly recommend that you set notifications to all so you know when I do these updates, because it's pretty sporadic nowadays, right? And I hope to keep that more consistent. And don't forget to leave a comment if you wish on maybe how I did this video. If you have any future suggestions for me, please let me know. Alright, and with that being said, I will see all of you in my next video. And have a wonderful rest of your night, everyone.